Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a special Rangers Review afternoon briefing. We have an update with regards to the managerial search, and to join me to discuss that and a story on the website, Chris Jack. How goes it, Chris?
Feeling a bit under the weather, it has to be said, Derek. A busy few months. It's finally taken its toll. Bit choked with the cold, as are the rest of the Jack household. But apart from that, we're all good to go. And as you mentioned, enough to keep us busy. Well, I'm sitting here feeling sorry for myself.
Yep, I did have a bit of luck in myself, I've got to say. Hopefully I'm on the other side of that, but I know it's doing the round. So yeah, hopefully you and the household of Jacks are back on the mend soon. Now, yeah, your timeline, I'd imagine, in your phone has evaporated, given the story you've published on the website a short while ago, Chris, just regards the state of play, I guess, and where we are with who is leading the way and how close we are to an appointment. So for the many viewers and those that are on tenterhooks and just itching to hear what news there is, can you reveal all? Where are we just now?
I think this comment from Chris actually probably sums it up quite nicely. All I need for Christmas is a new work iPhone. As people that have seen our socials and checked out that article on the site will know, sources at Ibrox insisting that the managerial process is still ongoing, that no prime candidate has been given the job, if you like, as yet. Now, I think there's obviously one name that everyone has been speaking about. It's a name that we've written a lot about on the site this week, a name that we've spoken a lot about on the show, and that's obviously Steven Gerrard. We expect Gerrard to be Rangers manager. I would be surprised if Gerrard is not Rangers manager. But as it stands at what we are, half one or so on Friday, right now, it's not sorted. It's not done. Further talks will be held with Steven Gerrard. Obviously, we know, and we reported on the site and spoke about it on the show, that he met that Rangers delegation, Andrew Kavanagh, Parag Marathi and Greta Steinsson. They have had talks in London over the last day or so. We expect further talks to be held today, and all going well, I think the Rangers fans would like to see that result in Steven Gerrard becoming Rangers manager. So that update we've got on the site is really just a state of play as it stands. As I say, sources at Ibrox insisting that the process is still ongoing. There are still further conversations to be had. So this process, this search, it's not done yet, but hopefully we are approaching the final stages of it over the next couple of days.
Yeah, well, hopefully that explains all to those that are asking what is happening, what's going on, all this sort of stuff, because there's so much noise out there at the moment. Yeah, we here at the review hopefully putting that straight and what the actual lay of the land is. So yeah, all roads certainly look to be leading towards a Steven Gerrard return to Ibrox, which we've discussed on the show, not only on the morning briefing earlier on, but pretty much every show this week has been dominated with Steven Gerrard chatter, and yeah, whether it can work going forward. Do you expect developments so far, maybe the weekend or so, Chris? I think there is a real urgency to get someone in before this Dundee United game. Well, a week tomorrow, it'll be here before we know it.
I think we said right at the start of the week, as this process kicked off again, that Dundee United game also gives people a date to work towards, but the club were adamant that they would not put set timescales on it. They were not going to rush the process just to have someone in ahead of that Dundee United game. But you look at what has unfolded over the last couple of days, what we've just spoken about, what we've reported on the website and on the show. You would have to assume that the new Rangers manager, again, which we expect will be Steven Gerrard, will be in situ ahead of that Dundee United game. It makes a whole lot of sense in so many ways for this process to be done before then. But again, a couple of sources at the club this morning insisting that process is still still ongoing, and not putting any definitive timescales on when there will be more formal movement, if you like, as we've just spoken about there. Further discussions with Steven Gerrard to come. A lot of people kind of perhaps read into that story what they want to read into rather than what it actually says. At no point have we said that Steven Gerrard will not be Rangers manager. No, I think we've been fairly heavy on Gerrard over the course of the week. I had a piece on the site, I think it was Tuesday morning, outlining why I believe that Gerrard was the obvious candidate. Josh has written a couple of pieces. He had an excellent interview with Kamar Roof yesterday that spoke about what Gerrard could bring to Rangers second time around. So I think anyone who's followed our coverage of this story, they will see that we have been fairly sweet on Steven Gerrard, I feel like, in terms of we believe he will be the man. But as I said at the top of the show there, as it stands, it's not quite done. There are still further discussions to be held with Steven. And again, sources adamant this morning that there's further discussions to be held with other candidates as well.
Yep, whether he is the man to bring success back to the club, who knows? But I certainly think it will galvanise the support who have become disillusioned, certainly in the last few months, given the way of travel under the former manager and overall footballing department. So I think it's important. This is an appointment that is the right one. It's interesting because Rangers gave Steven Gerrard his introduction to management as big break, Chris, and now this is a move, if it materialises, that is pretty much make or break for Steven Gerrard. If he isn't to succeed here, for me, his managerial career is pretty much in the gutter. Look at some ex-players that have embarked on managerial careers, and some of his ex-teammates, Steven Gerrard. I mean, look at Wayne Rooney, did well at Derby, and then had two poor spells at Birmingham, and then latterly at Plymouth. And I doubt he'll be back in. Never say never, of course, but sort of killed off any hopes he has in the game at this point. Anyway, Frank Lampard has shown he's got some nous about him, but it's important, I think, that Gerrard, if these talks progress well and he is unveiled as the new Rangers boss, that he really revitalises his managerial career. This is a great opportunity for him, but it's make or break.
It's a huge opportunity for him. He spoke a lot when he was here previously about needing a club and a city and a fan base that gave him that buzz. Having come out of a great playing career with Liverpool and with England, being at the sharp end, being such a big figure, having that ability to go and challenge for trophies, to go and win the biggest trophies in the game with Liverpool, he needs that. He needs that pressure. He needs that demand on him. I don't see and have never seen him being the type of manager that would bounce around various different clubs, almost getting jobs because of his name. I think the move to Saudi, something that we addressed on the show when it happened. Understand why did it for financial reasons. I think he'll maybe look back at that and he'll certainly reflect on it. And it's also not a successful time for him as a manager. But he's now coming into a very different environment, coming back to a club where he knows the demands, he knows the expectations, he knows what it takes to be successful here, and I think that will get the best out of him. Again, he mentioned it in that interview with Rio Ferdinand at the start of the week about the type of environment that just inspires him, that brings out the best in him, and that's what he's going to get at Rangers, coming in difficult circumstances, much like it was 7 years ago when he first came into the club, inheriting a squad that needs a bit of work done on it, inheriting a club that's a bit down in the dumps, a fan base and a support that certainly needs a real shot in the arm. And the sight of Steven Gerrard on the touchline against Dundee United next week would certainly give the support a shot in the arm. You're looking at what the crowd could have been if Russell Martin was still in the dugout to what it will be with Steven Gerrard there. It made such a huge difference to the overall feel round about the football club, and Steven was such a driver of that during his first time. So again, as I said right at the start of the week on the show, as I wrote on the site, for me, he's the ideal candidate. He's the man that Rangers should be going for, and everything points to him being the man that Rangers will go for and hopefully end up with sooner rather than later.
Yep, thank you to that UFO podcast who's kindly donated to the channel. Says, why is Willie Vassin now with all his gear? The Rangers cameraman, of course. And Gary Hyatt's with the point. He says, is Defoe trolling us, or are we reading too much into it, or will he be coming home too? I've seen his latest post on Instagram where he's suited and booted. Looks like he's in a taxi heading somewhere. He's been posting very interesting snippets on his Instagram of late. He was in an airport, I think, at the Rangers. The detective work was in full flow last night to decipher what airport he was in. I think many were thinking he's in Gatwick Airport. I do find all this stuff pretty funny. And of course, yesterday morning as well, he was posted a photo of pouring coconut water from a Rangers 55 decanter into a glass. So do you think we could see Defoe as part of a coaching backroom staff? Would you like to see that, him coming home, Chris?
I think if he's now not part of the backroom team, he's got some explaining to do, hasn't he? I think that next time he does a fan event or a Q&A or a meet and greet, or he's back at Ibrox for anything, I think he's got some explaining to do. It's been, as you say, it's been quite funny seeing some of the detective work that Rangers fans have put in to find out where he is and what his movements are. It just sums up this football club support, though. They're just desperate for any snippet, anything to buy into. I think Defoe would be a really good addition to a Steven Gerrard backroom team. You look at the team that he had previously, again, something that he spoke about on the Rio Ferdinand podcast this week, and needing the right people round about him to complement his skills, to fill in some of the knowledge gaps. Gerrard obviously very, very good at some aspects, perhaps not as strong in other aspects, and that's what his staff will look to add. If you can get someone like Defoe in, spoken so fondly about the club long before this Gerrard return was even a possibility. And every time Jermaine speaks about the football club, he does so in such a warm and appreciative way, and a knowledgeable way as well. So I think he would be a really popular appointment. But let's get the head coach, or let's get the manager in first before we worry too much about who's going to be on his staff. But I know there's been a lot of people would love to see Jermaine back. Steve Holland is another name that's been doing the rounds. Again, I think great experience, worked at a really high level, obviously worked with some excellent players during his time with England, and again, I think he'd be a really welcome addition to a potential Gerrard backroom staff.
Yeah, he's worked with Gareth Southgate, of course, with England. He's over in the Far East, isn't he? Is it Yokohama Marinos? I think he's Angie's old team, is that? I'm sure he's been over there, that neck of the woods, but certainly someone, and as Stephen said on Rio Ferdinand's podcast, he's looking to surround himself with different people as well. So I think that's important, that the guys, I've said this on a number of shows now, it's important that he brings in, if it is him, a vastly experienced coaching setup, guys that can really organise Rangers and get them back firing on the pitch, which is something they have struggled to do for quite some time now. Right, that is an update then on the current state of play. Other bit of news you will have seen, and we touched on at the show this morning, really dreadful video that we've seen over the course of last night of the Walter Smith statue and on fire, a little fire being set to that. Now, Rangers have come out and blasted that. They've condemned it. They said Rangers FC is aware of an incident at the Walter Smith statue last night and strongly condemns this shameful behaviour. The matter has been reported to Police Scotland, and work is underway to ensure the site is cleaned and returned to good condition. Now, the Rangers fan advisory boards have released a statement which reads, "A line was crossed last night in the shameful, shocking and senseless attack on the Walter Smith statue at Ibrox. Walter was not just a Rangers legend, he served the Scottish football community as a whole with dedication and pride over many decades. We call on anyone with any information on the lowlife who carried out these cowardly actions to contact the club. We have already seen the open mocking of the 66 in recent months, resulting in punishment from our courts, and we hope the individual responsible for this disgusting episode is also dealt with accordingly. So, a strong statement there. I said it on the show this morning, I just don't understand the thought process that makes someone do such a thing. It really defies belief, Chris.
You can't argue with a single word of both of those statements there. Just there are no words to sum up the individual or the people that did that last night. Saw the video, get sent to us very early this morning, and it's just one of those things you watch and you can't quite believe what you're watching. No, Walter, a figure that was held in such high esteem at Rangers, obviously, but much further afield, and it's a deplorable act from whoever did that. So hopefully it will be found, and the full force of the law will fall down on them. No excuses, no justification. A horrible act, horrible incident, and so hopefully the perpetrators are found and brought to justice as soon as possible.
Yep. Absolutely. Right, that will do us there. And make sure you're subscribed, folks, to all the social media accounts, to the YouTube channel, to the website, to keep up to date with any developments with regards to the managerial search. We may be on at some point over the course of the weekend. Who knows? I'm not expecting you to have a quiet weekend, Chris, unfortunately, but expecting the phone to be red hot.
I'm now meant to be off for a few days, but as per usual in the world of Rangers, you're never actually off. Even you could be on the dark side of the moon. As long as there's a phone signal, there's always something to keep us going Rangers wise. So we'll do our best to keep on top of this story, obviously over the remainder of the day and over the weekend, and hopefully there will be positive news on the Gerrard front sooner rather than later. Hopefully we can get that one over the line, and you're then into countdown to press conferences. Press conference day will be quite something next week sometime. Hopefully, if it is Stephen, that homecoming presser will be quite the event to be at. And then it's next Saturday at Ibrox, first game, and hopefully getting off to a good start. And to see if Rangers can salvage something from this season. Yeah.
I would love to be at Ibrox next Saturday if that is the case. And then Steven Gerrard is in that dugget. You can imagine what it would be like. Imagine what it would be like if Russell Martin was still in situ. We're talking about boycotts and people not turning up to what it could be like night and day. It really would be. Right, folks, that will do us there. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you are doing. And no doubt we'll chat again soon. Bye for now.